Hey, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're new here, and I do have a lot of new subscribers, thank you so much for joining me. Listen, I'm a psychic and a medium, and I'm channeling my spirit guides. I have specific political spirit guides that work with me to answer your questions. Okay, so this is what we're doing today. I asked for questions yesterday. And you guys are so awesome that you filled in the questions. So now I can ask my spirit guides your questions and get you some answers. I do want to say that I'm 60% spirit guide, 40% Susan. I can channel 100% if you go to my main channel by clicking the icon. Well, first of all, you can find a thing called playlist, and you can watch a lot of videos that might be interesting to you, including videos I've done a couple of years ago that are now coming to fruition right before our very eyes. Specifically, also the Ukraine videos that I did at the very beginning of the attack on Ukraine. Okay. I don't know why I went there. So I'm channeling. I don't remember what I just said. Here we go. Let's just dive in, shall we? All right. You guys have some amazing questions, and they run the gamut from, big picture to states, even Puerto Rico, some different things like that. I'm going to do this in two parts because I'm getting smart, you guys. I wrote down the time that I started this video, and I'm not going to let it go on for an hour. I'm going to try to keep it shorter and just do more of them so you guys can consume these videos in smaller bites, hopefully. All right, let's get started. The first question is from Joe Tampas, and Joe Tampas wants to know, and it's a big picture question, you guys, and I think it's really important because this is where we are right now. The question is, will democracy in America survive and thrive given the current political and cultural insanity? Now, this is a really big picture question. I mean, the short answer is yes. If you're new here, over the past year, I've told you guys that if I start broadcasting from a different country, hey, it's every woman and man and dog and child and cat and whatever for themselves, right? I'm still here. I still have hope. I've seen the way this movie ends, and it ends with us really, honestly, just getting our collective shit together. Now, before we get our, stuff together here, we're going to go through some things. And I think it's interesting because the way my guides work with me is they give me this information sometimes a year in advance. That's why I guess I said at the beginning, they're reminding me to go look at older videos because I was out here saying this stuff a long time ago. And for psychics, a lot of times they'll do that. They'll allow you to know in advance some really, kind of threatening, crazy, destabilizing, what word did you use? Insanity kind of stuff. And what that does is I go through my panic way before you guys. By the time the actual event gets here, I'm like, this is nothing. I already knew about this. And I can react in a much calmer way, which I think is important, right? We need somebody to be the calm person to say, look, it's going to be okay. But before we get through this, truth is that people are starting to freak out. If you look into the legal eagles and the different people who look at, the news or, just different professors or people that would study this kind of thing, they're really starting to freak out. Like they're just freaking out. And I'm telling you guys, there's no reason to freak out. We're going to go through some things. We need to go through them. We certainly need to uncover all of this, right? As much as we can, the guides have said in the past, we'll uncover about 80% of the dark money that is flowing into the Supreme Court, that's flowing into our politics. Okay, yeah, 20%, maybe now it's down to 10%, and I'll talk about that we want to be 100%, but come on, we got to have a sequel here. It's just like the scary movie where the monster runs off into the forest and you're like, darn, there's going to be a part 2, right? That's where we are, right? We're just not going to get rid of 100%. This is a dualistic planet. This is up, down, right, wrong, no guardrails, free speech, free action, free will planet. It's never going to be utopia. Check your ticket. You picked the wrong planet. If you're looking for utopia, honey, you need to just go back and figure out what exit. You took the wrong exit, whatever. You need to get a refund. I don't know. This is not utopia. This is a learning planet. Now, having said that, we've learned a lot. This is the thing I need you guys to understand. Listen, we have the same energy, the same astrological planets in the same places that were there during the American Revolution, during World War II, during the Civil War. We really are experiencing the same energy, right? We have Russia attacking Ukraine, saying Ukrainians aren't real humans, or I don't even know what they say. They're lesser than humans. Doesn't that sound like something we've heard before from somebody else that maybe their name started with an H, right? There's the energy. There it is right there. Here in the United States, Civil War energy. Definitely. We are definitely experiencing Civil War energy. But look at how these two energies are manifesting in 2023. As bad as they are, and they're bad, especially in Ukraine, they're nothing like World War II, and they're nothing like the United States Civil War. So what that tells me is that Spirit is giving us the same lessons, and we're reacting to them differently, right? We're doing a better job. If you can't see the nuance in that, and this is all just black and white, and it's either good or bad, then it's going to be really hard for you to kind of go through the next, lessons or the next decade, because one of our lessons is nuance, is learning discernment. Our biggest lesson is discernment, obviously, right? Because we've got people saying that we're right, and some of us are going, last time I checked, the sky is blue, not orange, right? So, we're being gaslit. We're being lied to for these people to remain in control. They're not going to remain in control, but for them to give up control is going to be something, right? They're not going to give it up easy. You're going to have the corporate, and this is worldwide, you guys. You're going to have the corporations fighting against us, the media fighting against the people. And this is where we're going, the will of the people. What is the will of the people? The guides used to tell you, and it used to, frankly, piss some of y'all off, but this is what they used to say. What will the humans choose? Remember when they would say that all the time? What will the humans choose? Well, here we are. We're being forced to choose. What do we want for our country? What do we want for our community? What do we want for our family, for ourselves? This is where the rubber hits the road, the guides are saying, right? So we are going to choose. We're going to choose humanity. We're going to choose love. We're going to choose self-agency that might not align with peace. Okay, do you understand me? But we will rise up. The people of the world will rise up, and it will be in waves. Okay, so we've already seen this in Iran. We've seen this in Israel. We've seen this in France. We've, the United States of America saw it in the 60s, right? So they're waves, and except for now, what the guides are saying is that the waves are getting closer, right? So instead of the 1960s and then wait, 40 or 50 years or whatever, we're going to now be doing this in a much quicker succession, is what they would say. So yes, everything is going to be fine. We're learning our lessons. We're learning to stand up for ourselves. We're learning that as people, we want to be heard, that we have agency, that humans are important, that humans are more important than money, is basically distilling it down to what we're going through right now throughout the entire world. So yeah, we're going to get through this, but we have to wrest. The word is wrest control from the powers that be and the profit machine that they've attached to it. So it's going to be some give and take, but we're going to get it done. All right, let's move on. Thank you for your question. Pat Lee says right now, over 300 million Florida pension dollars are currently invested in Russia. I mean, can we just pause for a moment? Can we just like pause and wrap our head around that? How does a state take the pension dollars of their inhabitants and invest it in a foreign country like this? I mean, I don't even know. This is part of that like amnesia that we were operating in, that we just weren't paying attention. And this is discernment on steroids, right? Okay, so let's continue. She says, surprise. And when this was made known in 2022, many encouraged DeSantis to divest. And she said he didn't, as in DeSantis didn't. Do the guides see this information being made more public again? I've got to believe this is not what Floridians want, regardless of party loyalty. Well, there's a couple of things here, Pat, and the guides have been saying this a lot recently. These MAGA people are not well. They're not at all attached to reality. They're attached to their own reality, what they want reality to be, and they just don't give a damn about anybody else or any other reality. If it's just like the guides are saying they're flat earthers, right? Or whatever. Like they're just going to believe the sky is orange and the sky is orange and you're not going to convince me. So first of all, there's going to be some that just aren't going to care. They're going to argue with you. So let's just stop thinking that these people are salvageable. We just need to let them go because they're a minority anyway. And then the rest of us need to get busy. Secondly, there's a couple of questions, I think. I think there might be another question. The guides are saying, the guides were, oh, yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, they reminded me. Okay, I'll leave that for the other question. Yes, Florida in general is in big, deep trouble. I've told you guys, like, I live in Texas, right? I mean, you would think, that we might have Florida beat, but honestly, energetically speaking, I've been telling you guys, Florida is dark. It's darker for whatever reason I don't understand. It's like this dark fog. Energetic fog is hanging over Florida. But I will tell you that that's going to lift. Florida's going to come out, and actually it's going to come out smelling like a daisy is what the guides say. But again, we all have to go through this tumultuous kind of lessons, right? Yes, they're going to learn. I do believe there's going to be some governmental oversight is what the guides are saying. The government, the feds may have to get involved. It may be found that the Florida organization or governmental structure that governs this may need to have oversight. The feds are going to do something. The feds are going to get involved and they're going to do something. Now, that doesn't mean Floridians are going to get their 300 million back, because they're not, because Russia's, I mean, at its best, I think Russia was 11 cents on the dollar. I mean, this was never a good investment. Okay, never. And now it's down, it's down a lot. Whatever the trading was per the dollar, it was never a strong investment. And now it's getting worse. So I don't see the Florida pensioners getting their money back. I don't see that. There's this sense, the guides used to use this metaphor. See, again, if you look back at the old videos, they're talking about this time right now. And they were talking about it 6 months and a year ago. They talked about how we were a feverish patient that was not seeing clearly. We were having fever dreams. We were, out of our minds. And they talk about how how you break the fever and the patient literally wakes up, almost like also out of a coma, wakes up and looks around and is like, oh my God, what has happened? It's again, this, and they want to also use the Rip Van Winkle, We've been asleep. We wake up and look what's changed, right? Are they going to be mad? Yes, they're going to be some kind of mad. Are the MAGAs going to wake up? Maybe 10, 15% of them, maybe 20, I'll be generous. 20% wake up. 80% of them never wake up. They're bitter. They end up being mad at Trump and mad at the Democrats. They're mad at everybody. So they disassociate. They remove themselves. They feel betrayed by the Republican Party. They feel that the Democratic Party is crooks. And so therefore, they're not going to do anything. They're going to literally step away from politics. What does this mean? It means they're not going to vote. That's what it means. It means they're going to stop giving their money because they see what's happening with their money. Nothing's happening. You know, these MAGAs have been fed this stream of vileness. And they expect somebody to pay for it. They believe these things and they don't understand why their heroes, Trump and MTG and all these people, aren't doing something. They don't understand it. Why? Okay, I believe all this stuff. Why aren't you doing something? They're getting disillusioned with their heroes. So that's kind of where we're going. And that's what's going to happen in Florida. I've read on Florida. If you go back, I read a lot about Florida. I know you guys are worried. I'm worried about Florida, but I really see you guys going through your dark night of the soul first. And you're going to be the first out of it. You may lose a lot of agency or a lot of support, or I just see power. They've lost power, but they're going to get their power back, and they're going to reinvent themselves, and they're going to be better than ever. That's what I think about Florida. See, this is why these videos take so long, is because the guides want to talk about the soul lesson in every question. I just figured that out, actually, just about 5 minutes before I did this video. Oh, that's why they go on and on. They're trying to teach us a lesson here. Oh, I get it. I'm not just answering questions. They're using this as an opportunity to teach the soul lesson. Firefly says, that they live in Arizona, where we have extreme MAGA Republicans like Paul Gosar, Andy Biggs, Eli Crane, and Wendy Rogers. What do you see for their futures? They're all horrible, but these are some of the worst. Well, you see me offloading that energy. That's a lot of energy right here. What does that mean? Paul Gosar. I mean, it takes a lot for me to go into their kind of records, into their energy to tell you what's going to happen to every single one of them. Let me do this. Let me do something different. Let me look at Arizona. Let me not go into their energy. First of all, it's just like I have to put on an energetic hazmat suit just to go into Paul Gosar's, and I'm not even into Andy Biggs, which I think is even worse. Eli Crane. I mean, now I got a stomach ache. It's like, I don't even want to. I don't need to go into these people's energy. Woo, they're bye. Goodbye. I don't care where y'all go. You just got to go. Okay, let's talk about the future of Arizona. Okay, let's not talk about them, because that is really physically challenging for me. The future of Arizona. Okay, again, I see some high-tech investment. They want to talk about high-tech investment in Arizona, specifically around climate change. Arizona seems to be ground zero for these high-tech companies to come in and test and experiment different things, from removing water, or not removing water, but there's the word they want to use, is not removing, but making. It's almost like making water out of air. They don't want me to say removing. I don't know why, but so that also some things around climate. Again, not control, but dealing with the climate, dealing with the heat, dealing with the sun, protection, climate protection, I think is the word they want to use. So again, lately I've been seeing these pictures where states that have a lot of sun and then are sort of desert or dry and certainly very hot. I see you guys putting up these shade. I mean, for lack of a better description, they're basically great big, huge shade areas. I mean, some of your streets will be under shade. Certainly all of your parking lots will now be under shade and they'll have solar panels on top of them and water catchment. Everything will be about working with the environment to the degree that you can, and then protecting yourself from the environment. Now, to get all this done, when you have people like Paul Gosar and Andy Biggs and Eli Crane and Wendy Rogers, all they're interested in is the profit, in my opinion. They just want to skim, they really don't care about the people. Remember what we just said at the beginning of this video. This is about the people. So I see this group of people moving out stage left. Okay. They're being moved out. It's almost like I see the hook, and they put the hook on the person and they drag them off the stage. These people go out as a group in mass. And it's funny, this is an interesting thing. When the guides say something, I want you guys to pay attention to what they don't say, as well as what they say, because I caught them in the energy of what they said. When they're walking, they're shuffling like this, like their feet aren't moving. So I see them walking off the stage, but they're not walking like normal. Their feet are kind of moving like this. What does that mean to you? It means that they can't move their feet, right? What does that mean to you? Hopefully that they're in leg shackles, right? So when the guides show me them going shuffle, 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 I was like, why are they walking so weird? Because they can't walk. Why can't they walk? Because hopefully they're in leg shackles. So that could mean overtly that they're in leg shackles, that they've been arrested, that they've been tried, they've been convicted, blah, blah, blah. But it could also mean energetically that they're hobbled, that they don't have the freedom to stride off the stage. So they could be energetically hobbled. It could be that they have indictments against them. Is not a conviction, it's an indictment. It could be that they're being investigated. It could be they want the heat off and therefore they scurry off of the stage. So I think that's very interesting. Okay, let's move on. Thank you for your question, Firefly. I again, ups and downs, but overall, Arizona is going to be it's going to be leading the way. They're telling me in tech, that they said tech. So that means across the board tech, but also in weather related and climate related tech. There's a lot, they're talking about a lot of battery, solar batteries or batteries maybe being tested or used, or maybe there's a development company. There's a lot of energy there around batteries for not only for cars, but for solar, for like storing bigger amounts of energy for when the sun isn't shining. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's go to the next question, which is Regina Bose. Okay, so a lot of you guys have asked this question on my last questions, which was about a week ago. And I didn't read on it because, frankly, the energy was everywhere and it wasn't great. And I decided to wait and see if it would settle down. So here you guys asking again. You were asking to read on the Ohio August 8th special election, where the GOP is trying to make it harder for its citizens to vote. It's a complicated thing. The way they wrote the bill is complicated. Yeah. Okay. I got to tell you guys, and this is why I have to tell you, call 1-800 Spirit Guides, press 1 for complaints, because I just tell you what I get. Maybe I'm wrong. The energy is still up in the air. It truly is up in the air, but I'm hearing the words hoodwinked. I think that the way the wording on the election is done is very complicated. It's almost like you have to vote no to vote yes or something. There's something complicated the guides are saying about how the wording is written. Now, that could hoodwink some Democrats into voting the wrong direction. Also, there's this energy of, which is very large, of a machine, like a political machine that is operating, that is getting out people that don't normally vote. somehow they're getting this vote out, whether it's they're offering the voters something. I'm telling you, it does seem like they're offering the voters something like, we'll give you I know this is illegal. I'm just telling you what I get. This is in for entertainment purposes only and allegedly, but let's just say that they're offering people who don't normally vote something to go and vote. And these people are marginalized. Okay. They're either elderly or they're just really marginalized. And again, there's this sense that when you're marginalized, you don't feel like anybody hears your voice. You're shouting into the void. You don't have enough money to live. Maybe you're on Social Security. You don't have enough money to live. You can't pay your heating bill. You can't, you're barely making by on food. The healthcare is robbing you blind, right? It's you're PO'd, you're mad. And then when somebody starts courting you and saying, yeah, we get it. We are going to fight for you. You finally feel like somebody's hearing you for the first time. This, you guys, is your superhero. Well, yeah, this, you finally get it. You get it. You're listening to me. I'm going to go support you. So there's this sense of being hoodwinked. Okay. So unfortunately, I feel like there's probably a 60%, maybe even a 70% chance that this thing goes the wrong direction, that it goes against the voters. Say 70% chance it goes against the voters. More than 50%. Way more than 50%. So there's a 30% chance that this thing gets pulled off. It's not a lot. It is something. It's better than nothing. But I will tell you this, if it doesn't go your way, I feel like it's not, the guys are saying it's not the end of the story. Okay. It's not the end of the road for this. Either this goes to court or there's legal challenges. It feels like legal challenges. It's not the end of the road, you guys. Also, remember that we've got elections coming up next year. And not only that, but we have indictments coming up this year. So a lot of these GOP people are going to start getting the squeeze and they're going to be out of office. So even if this thing goes the wrong direction, I feel like the guides are saying you're made whole again. I don't know why they want to use the word whole, meaning I guess that you've been separated or you've been, I think this bill must piecemeal or something, you guys. So they're saying you'll be made whole again. So I would just say, that's what I would say. I've been thinking about this. I've been trying to ask the guides about this. I keep getting this really mixed up energy. There's a lot of forces, really tug of war on this energy. It is not settled. Unfortunately, it's not that the right is in the majority here. They're in the minority. There is shenanigans being played here, and we'll just have to see how it plays out, guys. But if it goes the wrong way, it's going to be remedied. Okay, so that's what I would say to you. Don't. This isn't the end of the world. The guides are like this. None of these things is the end of the world. What you're seeing and what you're going to be seeing are these power players being cornered and snapping at everybody and striking at everybody. And, again, why are they bringing this up? I don't know. They're bringing up the screenwriters strike. They're bringing that up in the middle of this. I don't know why, because they said to me earlier this morning that it's a little bit more ominous, or I don't know what the word is, than it looks. Hollywood would rather not have Stephen Colbert. They'd rather not have some of these things being on the air, right? These people are trying to break the screenwriters. They're trying to say, you're humans, we're going to replace you with AI. Get over it. You want to know why? Because we're powerful. You're nothing. Go away. Well, what they told me this morning too is, how did that work out for Emory Marie Antoinette. How did that work out for her, right? It's not going to work out for these people. But in the meantime, they are powerful, very powerful. And they're going to use all of their power to push us around, to push us down, and to silence us. But this is the part of the book, this is the chapter in the book where the people cannot be silenced, where the people have been tired of being silenced. They're not going to be silenced. So this book is starting to get pretty good, starting to really pick up its pace. Just do one more question and then I'll do part 2. Okay. Karen Ettinger says, you said a while back that Betsy DeVos and her brother Eric Prinz are protected and will not be held accountable for their crimes. Why do you guys bring, oh my God. Okay. 1-800 Spirit Guides, press 1 for complaints. Oh my God. All right. Okay. Here's something else I need to tell you guys. I'm going to talk about this in my Way Out Wednesday video that's coming out this Wednesday. But for real, I don't remember. Like sometimes y'all comment and I'm like, I didn't say that. Nobody didn't say that. And my gods are like, yes, you did. I'm like, no, I didn't. They're like, yes, you did. You better look at the comments. I'm like, well, then I didn't say it. You said it. I didn't say it. So I don't remember. This is channeling. Sometimes when you guys comment, I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about, right? So I don't remember saying this, but I'll go back into the energy. Even though I have to get on my energetic hazmat suit and potentially like a whole squadron of angels to protect me. Protected, not be held accountable for their crimes. Who's protecting them? Also, what laws did Betsy DeVos break other than the law of decency? Such a really good point. Humanity really is what she broke, her and her brother. I mean, the word is protected. I mean, you could use a lot of different words. I talk about this too, that I'm translating. And if I was translating French into English, there's probably some words that just don't translate. And I have to pick the best possible connotation, the best possible even energetic description for that word. Protection implies that somebody's protecting them. I would say, and you asked the question, who's protecting them? I guess I'll stick with protection because when I asked who's protecting them, I get an answer. So I guess I'll stick with that. Money, power is protecting them. Money is protecting them. International money, international power. Much like, okay, so they're making a comparison of too many words. They're giving me too many things at once. Jeffrey Epstein. They're making a connection to Jeffrey Epstein. You know, Jeffrey Epstein, a lot of people, you know, supposedly the Clintons, a lot of people were friends with him. A lot of people visited his magic hellhole island. Trump certainly did. I think Trump flew 7 times on the Lolita Express, the airplane. You know, listen, this guy was wink, wink. Let's look the other way. Now, why is this possible? Well, for one reason, people that have absolute power, one of the ways you can prove to yourself that you have absolute power is being able to break laws, right? So even if you're a sheriff in a town, to a large degree, you've got absolute power, right? You can break the laws because you are the law, right? You are the law until the energy changes and something changes that energetic connection and boom, you're now in prison yourself, right? This is what happened to Epstein. He was getting ready to be in prison, but he was offed instead. Now, Betsy DeVos and Eric Prinz are protected in the same way. They have dirt on people. They have control. They have power. They're also useful. The guides are saying they're useful to certain people. I don't know what that word is. It's not, I don't know what that word is. They want to say demographic. I want to say demographic, but it's not a demographic and they're not demons. So I can't figure out what word. Dictators. I don't think so. Demagogues, maybe demagogues. They're responsible or useful. They're useful to these demagogues. Okay. They're tools. They do dirty work. They do these people's dirty work. Now, as a tool, you're expendable. So right now they're protected. Will they always be protected? I don't think so. For one thing, let's bring back another thing the guides used to talk about all the time. Remember, the guides would talk about flipping the table. Remember that? We're going to flip the table. We are here at the flipping of the table, where people that normally would never be held accountable are being held accountable. Trump is finally being held accountable. How many decades did this man run amok and create havoc and take advantage of people and rip people off and hurt people and more? Free as anything to do that. The power. Now he's being held accountable. They're flipping the table. So now I feel like Betsy DeVos and Eric Prince, every time I say their name, I have to offload energy, are going to be held accountable for some of their crimes. So some of these people, okay, how do I say this delicately? Some of these people are, that's how I do it. Some of these people are going to cross over. They're not going to be held accountable. They're going to escape judgment. I'm laughing because the guides raise their eyebrows like, really? Oh my God. I'm doing the best I can, y'all. I swear to God. Okay. All right. I will, it's like when the judge says, would you like to rephrase that, counsel? Yes, I would like to rephrase that, please. Oy vey. Okay. Judgment of the people. Escape judgment of the people. Again, I'm doing this 40-60 thing. So Susan jumps in and then the guides are like, really? And Susan's like, yes. Anyway, you're watching not something, that it would be schizophrenic, hopefully, but something that is Susan blending with her spirit guides. So I'm taking a pause because I'm talking to them, but I'm also trying to word my statement better. And I will say, the Susan part of this believes that Trump could cross over, and therefore the will of the people, the people will not get justice. Okay, that's what I meant to, that is the sentiment that I meant, is that Betsy DeVos, Eric Prince, some of these people, Putin, Trump, a lot of other people are going to cross over, and they're going to escape judgment from the people. Now, the guides find this, interesting or whatever that, I don't even care anymore. I'm already going to be in detention. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing I can do at this point. Because it's like the time when Trump was first in office, and I used to ask the guides every single day if today was the day he was going to die. And they were like, Susan, you have a problem. We need to talk to you about this. Like, I literally got called into the principal's office, and they said, we need to talk to you about your attitude towards Trump and death. This is really getting to be a problem. So it's the same energy that I just encountered with this very human response and desire and need for these people to face some sort of consequence. Now, I would argue, since I guess I'm in a court now, I would argue to the guides, and again, here we are arguing, but maybe it's better because now we're in a court of law where arguing is okay. However, I would argue to the guides that people, humans that are alive right now on this planet, not like y'all up there in eternal vacation land, that we need to see justice. We need to have faith, right? That there is justice, right? That's what I would say. And this is why I think that it would be better to see some of these people go through the judicial system and be held accountable, and the will of the people be shown that there is justice. They're just like, filing their nails like, is she done? Is she done? Counselor, are you done? Yes, I rest my case. Holy smokes. All right. Does that make any sense, Karen? I don't know. I think that they're going to eat. I get, the gist of that whole long-winded story is they're probably going to get off. They're either going to cross over, or they're going to defect to some island somewhere. Or, I could do a whole video. I could talk 40 minutes about this. These questions you guys ask. I could go into Betsy DeVos's energy. I could tell you where she's likely to move to or leave. Or, I could literally go 40 minutes into each of these questions. That's why these videos get to be so long. And then the guides want to do this whole soul level thing. And then we get into a court of law and an argument. And here we are at the end of this video, because I'm going to end this so that I could do part 2, and I'm not rambling for an hour and a half. And you guys are like, I don't know, I could just see your spouse walking in going, who's that lady rambling on your computer screen in the living room? I don't know, Susan, she's talking about something. I had to go make dinner. You know what I mean? I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit if you do. I do watch these videos back to make sure that I'm literally coherent and stringing sentences together that make sense. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all the new viewers. Wow, I don't know what happened, but maybe the energy of me being out of Texas. I am on a work vacation. As you can see, I'm working a lot, but I am not in Texas. I'm in the mountains. Maybe that's affecting my energy. I don't know, but my last couple of videos have gotten a lot of views. I want to thank you so much for subscribing, liking, sharing. And I just want to encourage you again that everything is going to be okay. It's a long road that's going to be difficult, but we're going to make it. There's going to be surprises. There's going to be cheering. There's going to be hopes dashed. It's going to be a fantastic book, if only it were fiction. But we are going to make it out okay. Okay. So the important thing to do during this time is, the guides used to talk about, don't ride the roller coaster. Don't ride the roller coaster, right? Try to, get your, watch whoever you want to watch, take in as much as you can take in, be aware. Today, I can't take it. I don't want to know, right? Maybe tomorrow will be different, but today I need a break. Listen to your body. Get lots of water, drink a lot. For some reason, they want us all, because we're processing energy. We're processing a lot of energy, not only from the heavens, but also from the media and our lives, wherever you live in the world. There's a lot going on. This is not just the United States. This is everywhere. Everybody's going through the same energy. So to process the energy, we need electrolytes. We need water. We need potassium. We need things to help us retain the water, to use the water. That's why some of you might need to actually drink electrolytes and not just water. Also, somebody or a lot of people watching this video is not getting enough protein. Protein doesn't have to be animal protein. It can be any kind of protein. Listen to your body. Just take a minute and just say, what do I need today? Do it right now. What do I need today? And then what do you know? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? It could be raspberries, right? It could be bananas. It could be water. It could be rest. It could be peace. It's okay. Honor that. Honor that. Even if you say, I've been too tired lately, I need to get up and do things. Well, maybe it's time to take short breaks, right? Do something and take a short break. And if you need peace, the guides are saying, get out, walk outside of your house, walk down the street, go in the backyard, get in the car and drive to the park. There's lots of ways to get peace. Go in the bathroom and turn on some music. Feed your soul with good things. As we go through these challenging times, it will help you be more flexible, and you'll be able to kind of ride not the roller coaster, but maybe the more gentle ups and downs. Okay. Take really good care, guys. I'll be back with part 2 in a day or 2. We'll see you soon. For entertainment purposes only.